Hello, hello, and welcome to our Elite Escapes. I'm Jim Sadleir, and today we're going to be speaking with Eimear Winters, the Director of Sales and Marketing for Castle Leslie Estate in Ireland. Take it away, Dan and Melody.
Thank you, Dad, for that great introduction, and welcome to our Elite Escapes. We are so excited to have Eimear Winters here today as our first official guest. And you know what I know about Eimear after knowing her for a while? That she always brings the crack. All right, Americans, if you don't know what crack means, it is actually just a slang word in Irish for fun. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to have the crack, and if you stay to the end of this video, you will get a sneak peek inside the luxurious and historic Castle Leslie Estate. Again, we are so excited to have Eimear here, but you know what else we're even more excited about? Is taking over this beautiful castle behind me. Castle Leslie Estate this May 11th to 21st. We're taking it over exclusively for our group. So thank you, Eimear, again for being here. Could you give us a little more information about Castle Leslie Estate?
Sure. And just to say thanks very much to yourself and Melody for inviting me on today. Delighted to be your first guest and to showcase Castle Leslie Estate to your viewers. So Castle Leslie Estate, it's one of the last great Irish castle estates that's still in the hands of its founding family. And it dates back to the 1600s. So it's been handed down from generation to generation since then. And today it's one of the leading luxury castle estates in Ireland. It's on 1,000 acres, only 80 minutes from north of Dublin Airport. And we've three types of accommodation on our estate. So obviously at the heart is the beautiful castle. And it's obviously steeped in history, full of character and charm. And there's 21 bedrooms in the castle. So no two rooms are the same, all completely different and have their own unique style and design. But the whole idea of a stay at the castle is that it's a complete switch off from the outside world. And as you meander through all the rooms, you'll see family heirlooms, original artifacts, some of which include former British Prime Minister Sir Winston Churchill's christening gown. That's actually in a glass casket in the drawing room. So even though you're surrounded by all this old world grandeur, there's no air of stuffiness about the castle at all. I mean, the whole idea is that it's a home away from home, and there's no particular attire you have to wear. So we love it when our guests say to us, gosh, you really felt like we were staying in a family home. And then just to mention our other two accommodation offerings, we have a beautiful country house style boutique hotel called The Lodge, which it's like the social hub of the estate. So you'll have locals and guests alike that will convene there. And it houses our bar, our main estate restaurant, our spa, and it's adjacent to our equestrian centre. And then finally, we have luxury home rental in the form of 12 two-bed mews.
And no doubt it's a very romantic destination, right, Eimear?
Absolutely, Melody. It really, really is. I mean, it's a really fairy tale castle, as I said, located on 1,000 acres. So that you can go on beautiful, romantic walks around the estate. And a horse-drawn carriage ride is a beautiful way to really soak up that romantic atmosphere on our 1,000 acres. And of course, like over the years, we've had many engagements, honeymoons, and obviously weddings. So we've hosted weddings for people from all around the world. And I suppose one of the most famous ones was the wedding of Sir Paul McCartney from the Beatles to Heather Mills.
That's so cool. Very cool. So other than celebrities and the like who have stayed there, I know ambassadors have been there and poets and all different people. Who are the main guests that come visit and stay at Castle Leslie Estate otherwise?
Yeah, sure. Good question. So we obviously get a lot of couples that stay with us, and we're in February now. So we're calling February our month of love. So we've even more couples coming for a romantic stay this month. So we've all age demographics. We get small groups like your tour that's coming in May, which we're really excited about. And then we have specific specialized groups that come to stay. So for example, we have people especially from the US, that will come specifically on an equestrian vacation, because we are the leading equestrian destination in Ireland. So you can really test your skills out in our estate. But again, it's a really fun activity to do because we cater for pure beginners up to really experienced riders. So again, when your group come in May, hopefully they'll enjoy some horse riding out on the estate. And then we have incentives as well. So lots of different people that come to stay with us.
How many nights would you suggest visitors to stay at Castle Leslie Estates? And what would a typical day at Castle Leslie Estates look like?
Yeah, I suppose ideally 3 days is a perfect amount of time to spend on the estate, but really minimum will be 2 nights to really experience the estate properly. So there's lots to do. So as I say, it can be as action-packed or as relaxed as you want it to be. And I suppose being a country estate, as you can imagine, we have all the pursuits that you'd expect from an estate like ours. So horse riding, like I mentioned, then people can do things like falconry, clay target shooting, archery, fishing, boating, walking trails, as I mentioned earlier on, and then we have a spa, of course. So you can really relax after you've had an action-packed day, or just come and enjoy, soak up all the atmosphere. People come for, as we call it here, a digital detox, to just switch off from everything and be at one with nature. Yes, so
How about, are you in a
town?
town? Is there a town or a little village or city?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. Absolutely. So we're located in Glasslock Village. So as I mentioned, we're only 80 minutes from Dublin Airport. So if you can imagine, you're driving on a motorway to get to us, then you're driving on national roads. So you're going to see lots of lush green landscape, and you might see some cows and sheep. I get that question asked a lot, so I'm putting that in there. And then if you can imagine just driving into this gorgeous picturesque village, I mean, we have like the buildings, they're just beautifully designed, lovely architecture. It's like something out of a novel, as I say. I mean, we have a local artist in the village, we have a local chocolatier, Trish, we have a pottery shop, and then of course, being Ireland in a small village, we have 2 pubs. Not just one, we have 2. So people can really enjoy the crack, as we say, in those bars. And you can enjoy traditional Irish music in them at the weekends as well. So great.
that reminds me of
all
a
together.
story.
Oh, really?
Melody, her first time going to an Irish pub. You want to tell that story, Mom?
Oh, go
Oh
on.
gosh. Well, my first time going to an Irish pub, I was really excited to go. And we're going with a lot of travel advisors, and we walk in and there's music playing and people singing and people dancing. It was just such a fun atmosphere. So I just went up to the band and I told them that I know how to do the Irish jig. And I went and sat down then with the people and, just sitting, enjoying it. And all of a sudden they make an announcement. They go, "We have a special announcement. We're so fortunate that we have an American here that knows how to do the Irish jig. Come on up, Melody, show us how you do it." I'm like, "Oh my God, I was only kidding." But I got up, I started dancing around and singing, acting like crazy woman
Oh, well
as I
done.
am.
Yeah.
And everybody started dancing around, laughing, singing. It was the best experience. It was
Best
so much
time.
fun.
So you had the best crack, as we say.
Yeah, we had the
Exactly.
best
And you
time.
know what? That's the best thing for anyone who is joining us in Ireland this May 11th to 21st. You are going to get a sneak peek or a full show of Melody's Irish jig. So if you want to see her dance, you better be joining us.
I know you're going to want to come for that.
Absolutely.
Just kidding, of course. But you know what? I think that's a great spot to take a little break, just a 20-second break. And we're going to take a quick, get a quick message from Jim.
Well, I'm excited. Come join us May 11th through May 21st, 2024 on the Luck of Ireland tour. We'll go to all the hot spots in Ireland, from the Cliffs of Moher to the Jameson Distillery to the Ring of Kerry, and so much more. Click the link below. There's only a few spots left. You don't want to miss out.
All right, and we're back. So, Eimear, I always love using the slang word crack. I just find it funny because Americans definitely don't. It just throws them off, because we obviously aren't thinking crack is fun. So I want you to, if you can, let us know some of the best Irish slang words or some of the Irish phrases, words, anything like that you suggest people know before they go to Ireland.
Okay, well, there's a lot of them. So I suppose in terms of just words, just to give you some examples. So like in Ireland, we say footpath, you say sidewalk. So there's things like that. Then Like we say the boot of a car, or we just throw it into the boot, and you say the trunk of a car. So there's lots of different words like that. But then in terms of phrases, well, you mentioned crack, but you can also say, what's the crack? Which means, hey, how are you? What's going on? And then other things that we would say, let me think, that are very common. You'd hear a lot of Irish people saying, oh, that's gas, which means, oh, that's hilarious. That's really funny. Or, oh, fair play. Oh, fair play to you, which means, oh, well done, or yeah, that's great. There's so many of them, So, and then I suppose for people that are coming to Monaghan now, there's one particular word that they use all the time up towards the northern part of the country, and it's wee, which means small. So, for example, if I said to you, would you like a glass of whiskey? They would say, oh, I'll just have a wee bit. So I'll just have a small glass. Or they'd say, like, they describe a little child, like a girl or a boy. Oh, the wee boy or the wee girl, which means, small boy or small girl. So that's just another one. There's loads of them. Those you're going to hear plenty when you come over.
I love that.
Yeah.
And how about cheers? Everyone, if you're going to be...
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Well, obviously we say, cheers, but the Irish word for cheers is sláinte. Sláinte. And actually, that's how you say sláinte, or if you want to say goodbye in Irish, it's slán.
Slán.
So slán and sláinte, yeah.
And how did you say your name in Irish?
No, right. So obviously my surname is Winters. So the Irish word for winter, as in the season, is Givry. So my name translated into Irish is Eimear ní Gile Givry. Quite long.
Yeah. That's a little more difficult to say.
Yeah, a little bit. So it's not used very often.
And Eimear, could you tell our viewers what they will receive if they book their stay at Castle Leslie Estate with us at Elite Travel and Events, Inc.?
Sure. So we would be delighted to give VIP amenities to any of your clients. So those will include actually handmade glass lock chocolates, which I mentioned earlier on. So they're the chocolates that are actually made in the village of Glasslock. Absolutely divine, if I do say so myself. And then we will also put in a miniature bottle of our own Castle Leslie Estate gin. Just to mention, obviously, people know about Guinness and whiskey in Ireland, but there's a lot of gin distilleries that have opened in Ireland too. So we started making our own gin a few years ago, and it's called the Fighting Bishop Gin, and it's named after one of the first Leslies that arrived to the estate, and he planted beech trees on the estate back then around 1665, which obviously are still on the estate to this day. So the key ingredients in our gin are actually beech leaves and botanicals hand-picked from those beech trees. So it's a beautiful bottle of gin. So a miniature bottle will be included in the room. And finally, on the day of arrival, if we have an upgrade available, your clients will receive that complimentary.
Ah, that's so nice of you. See, so if you want to book with Elite Travel and Events, Inc. and stay at Castle Leslie Estate, you will be treated. I'm not even going to call it a VIP. I'm going to call it a king or a queen. You're in a castle, right? So thank you, Eimear. That's awesome.
No problem at all.
So we actually have a couple questions that viewers have sent in this week since they knew we were going to talk to you. So first question we have is from Jill. She's in New York, and she was wondering when is the best time to visit Ireland?
Oh, good question. I get this question asked a lot, actually, because as you probably know, in Ireland, it's a very temperate climate. So you can get 4 seasons in one day. So I say always just pack layers when you're coming to Ireland, no matter what time of year you're coming to Ireland, and also pack a rain jacket, because you're probably going to have a couple of showers. But the shoulder months are really nice times to come to Ireland. But if you're really putting me on the spot and saying, no, Eimear, give me 1 month to come, I would probably say May, actually, which is the time that your group are coming, which is great because, you're coming into summertime, it's really bright, and it's very mild as well, month to come to Ireland. So yeah, I'd probably say May.
Nice. Well, that worked out. Thank you, Jill, for the little
thanks, Jill.
boost on it. That's what I thought too, is May would be just a good time for the days getting longer, especially. And
that's it.
And maybe if there's a little showers, like I didn't mention that me and Emer did a little road trip around Ireland back in July. And I mean, it was just
Exciting.
perfect weather. You would get those rain
This is
showers, but
it.
it was always when we
Yeah.
were in the car or inside eating. And then you could get the rainbows as well. So there's
Yeah, that's
such
right, actually.
beauty.
Yeah, I think we saw you as well when you were over. That's right. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what's cool about it, that the weather, I feel like it's like the Midwest, that you get all four seasons in one day,
Yeah. I like that, I have to say.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful, and the
You know, I
greenery and the
do.
rainbows and everything. But we do have one more question, so I'm going to throw that out
Okay.
at you right now. It's from Kevin O. He's in Chicago, and he asks, as someone who is from Ireland, where would you suggest someone visiting Ireland for the first time, or just people visiting, where do they have to experience? Where do they have to go? What's the
Oh,
best places?
gosh. Yes, yes. Well, I suppose for first timers, a lot of first timers, they want to come to Dublin because obviously it's the capital city and home of Guinness. So that's definitely one attraction that people will have to go to when they come to Ireland. And I think actually you're bringing your group there and when they come over in May. And then naturally Castle Leslie Estate, of course, for that authentic Irish castle. But one of the main tourist attractions that I would recommend that will be on my bucket list if I was coming to Ireland are the Cliffs of Moher. Absolutely stunning. They're in County Clare and they're right on the Atlantic Ocean. They're like near, I think it's something like 14 kilometers, which is nearly like 8.5 miles of cliffs that you can just walk, and you have panoramic views, and it's just breathtaking. So that is a must when you're coming to Ireland. And then there's other things like because I'm talking about Castle Leslie Estate, like Belfast is only 60 minutes from us, so you could do a day trip to Belfast and visit Titanic there. Amazing museum up there. So yeah, and Giant's Causeway is another one. I could go on, but they're some of the main ones. Yeah.
Ireland truly is such an amazing country. And other than the sites like Cliffs Moor, like honestly, when you're there, it's so grand. It's so much more than you even expect. Like, I mean, it goes forever. Like how you said, 8 point some, maybe you said kilometers. I was going to say miles, but it keeps going and it's just gorgeous. And but the real thing that makes Ireland, I think, other than the true natural beauty and the fun, is the people. The people there are just so warm. They're so inviting. I remember we went to, actually right after Cliffs Moor, we went to a restaurant and we were just sitting there having some food. I think I was having Guinness stew or something like that, which was excellent.
You were, I think, yeah.
Right.
In Julian, yeah.
But remember those guys who just came in and they just started playing the trad music, the traditional Irish music.
That's so popular in Ireland, especially down the country with the smaller pubs. You don't know what you're going to get, but you could go in for, say you're going in for one drink and you'll come out at 1 o'clock in the morning knowing everybody in the pub after being dancing and singing, as we say, Ceol agus crack. So there really is great crack in the pubs all around Ireland. So that is one thing that you're going to experience. And another thing actually that I'd say for people coming to Ireland for the first time, like you have to pull a pint of Guinness. That's a really cool thing to do. Yeah.
Definitely. Everyone who's in our group, hopefully they'll be doing that when we go to the Guinness storehouse. And I got to say, when we're really talking about Guinness, and this is how we'll close it out, I was never a fan of Guinness. Didn't like it. It wasn't my type of drink at all, my type of beer. But when you're in Ireland, honestly, it is like such a different flavor. I feel like it's a dessert and it's not like
everybody
heavy,
says,
but the head of it, right? Like the head of it, like I've seen like since on Instagram, some girl eating it with a spoon, like just the head of the beer. Like,
no, you can't do that.
So good. Like, totally different flavors. So with that, I am going to say thank you so much, Eimear, for joining us. And
thank you so much. Yeah.
And it's been such a pleasure, but make sure everyone out there, if you want to, or you should definitely go to social media, obviously, and follow Castle Leslie Estate. You go to Facebook and it's at Castle Leslie Estate. Otherwise on Instagram at Castle Leslie. And of course, since you're here and you're still watching the show, make sure to click the subscribe button below, like this video, share it with your friends, anyone who wants to join us in Ireland. We only have a few more spots this May, so make sure to sign up today before you miss out. And it's just going to be such a fun group. We already have such a great group of people going. Everyone is looking forward to it, and they are just so excited for the crack and the Guinness and the whiskey and the beautiful sights and scenery of Ireland. And of course, you get to meet Eimear when we are in destination. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us. Make sure, obviously, to stay. We're going to send it back to Jim, and he is going to do a little raffle for our prize from last week. And then you get a sneak peek inside Castle Leslie Estates. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next Friday.
We would like to thank our partners in Miami, the cruise capital of the world, for this bag full of goodies for this week's giveaway. Let's get to it. Here we go. Lots of luck, everyone. And our winner is Pamela S. from Wisconsin. Congratulations, Pamela. We'll be in touch with you shortly. If you'd like to enter to win next week's giveaway, go to our website to enter. Thanks, everybody, for being with us today on Our Elite Escapes. Make sure you come back next Friday to meet our special guest, the Vice President of Sales for Windstar Cruises, Dianna Rom. And now, your sneak peek of Castle Leslie Estate.